Welcome to the Writer's Desk tutorial series. This video will be going over outlining. The outline view is covered briefly in the overview video, but it only really goes over a couple of things you can do with it, so we're going to cover all the different features here. We'll start by going to the Open menu and viewing all my documents in the system. Here you can see that all my documents are actually part of a giant outline. When we're talking about writing, especially creative writing, the big struggle is how much upfront planning and organization you should do compared to just putting your blinders on and writing freeform. The main purpose of keeping your documents in this structure is to get the best of both worlds and allow you to transition easily between those two concepts. The use cases I'm going to focus on will be organization of individual projects, but you can see I've used outlining to manage all my writing, including things like a daily writing journal that I keep. I'm going to click the New button in the bottom right, which will always start a new document at the root level. Something worth noting is that the New button you see in the main toolbar of the writing page here will also create a new document at the root level. This is true no matter what level the current document you're looking at is on. So for these next few examples, I'm going to pretend that I just came up with some random thing I wanted to write about. Maybe I thought of a really cool setting that I want to write down, but that is not really part of a larger story. So I'm just going to tag it as both a setting and an idea, and write without really thinking of it in any kind of larger context. I'm going to click New again. Remember, this will create a root level doc, and I'm going to write down a character idea I just came up with. Again, not really part of any story or structured idea. I'm going to tag it as a character and an idea. Now I'm going to click on the Open menu, and you can see I've already got a few of these different random ideas I've written down. But now I'm starting to see some connections. So I have this story idea that I wrote down previously, and now realize the setting and character I wrote down will fit in nicely with this story. So I'm going to use the Move Copy button on each of those items and put them as nodes underneath my story idea. When I do, you can see the Move Copy icon for all my other docs has switched to a paste icon. The way this works is I choose Copy or Move, and then click the paste icon on the node I want to move this document under. In this case, I want to copy these items because I may change them up for the context of my story, but I want to keep the original idea intact. So now I feel like a story is actually coming together, and I'm ready to mentally switch to pure planning mode. Now I can do all my outlining from this view, but seeing all my docs like this is a bit distracting, so I'm going to open up my story idea and do my outlining view from there. When I open the document, I just need to click on the outline view icon and the main toolbar, and I see all my subnodes under this document. All the outlining features that I'm about to show you in this view can be done from the Open page and vice versa. So for example, the Move Copy that you just saw, those same icons and functionality exist right here. Now, like I said, I'm in pure planning mode, so I'm going to click Hide Doc to get that out of my way. As I browse to different views from the toolbar or just toggle outlining mode off, you can see my document shows up again. If I come back to outline mode, my doc goes back to hidden until I click Show Doc again. I can use the Add menu to add subtopics to the current open document, and it'll show up below. It pops up the Add window where I can enter a name and then optionally content. This content will be the body of that document. If I click on the name of that doc, I can jump to it. I'll just click Show Doc to show you the content I wrote when I added the node, and then hide that back. Since this document is the subnode of another doc, you can see the Go Back button, also the double arrow in the main toolbar. This allows me to traverse back up my outline. Back at my story idea, I can use the Add button next to each node to add a subnode under that document. I can use the delete icon next to each document to delete items when I've made a mistake. I can see nodes that are already tagged. I can filter those nodes by those tags. At this point, I'm actually going to fast forward a bit to show you the full outline. You can see my completed outline here, and I'd like to take a moment to cover the different use cases I used outline mode for when writing this story. You can see I used it for a collection of all my loose ideas, so I ended up creating an ideas node and copying all my characters, settings, and scene ideas under that. I also used it to write my story as individual pieces instead of writing just one long document. As I added nodes, I could click on individual items and write them as needed. I could write on pieces of it as I was ready. So now I can actually stitch that all together in the book mapping view. I can take all these individual pieces and start dragging them over. I can move things up and down and then map out my full story. If I click the print button, I can view my story in its entirety. And that's it. Hopefully this has helped you utilize the outlining feature of the Writer's Desk to bridge that gap between freeform and planned writing. Check out our additional tutorial videos. You can always click on the help menu to see all of our available videos, link to our YouTube channel, or ask help from our support team. Thanks again for choosing the Writer's Desk.